I want to take a look at the price of Bitcoin this morning, just below the $64,000 level. The cryptocurrency up now 140% in the last year. Joining us is Anthony Pompliano, founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management. He's now the author of How to Live an Extraordinary Life, which is out this week. I'm holding it. The book is a compilation of letters that Anthony wrote to his children, and I want to talk about that in just a moment. But I want to start just where we are in crypto land and what you think is really happening here. Obviously, there's been a big move that happened after the Fed lowered interest rates effectively, or cut the rate by 50 basis points. How much of this is now built in to the rest of the year? Meaning we know that the cuts are likely to continue. Therefore, is 64,000 or 63,000, it's going to just stay level, or it keeps going up, goes down? What do you see?
Well, I think, if we look at that Fed interest rate cut, Bitcoin is the best performing asset so far. Gold and oil futures are kind of second. There's a new study that just came out from Lynn Alden and Sam Galligan that said Bitcoin is the most sensitive asset when it comes to global liquidity. And so 83% of the time, Bitcoin moves with global liquidity. It's more than S&P or any other asset. And so if you look at not just the interest rate cuts, now M2 money supply is expanding, and also we have cuts going on in China and elsewhere. And so I think that Bitcoin ends up being a big winner whenever we get kind of cheap money flooding into the system. And it feels like we just went through this big regime change, right? We were tightening. Everyone was trying to kind of drain liquidity from the system. Now we're going to go the other way. And so Bitcoin should be a big winner here for the next couple of months.
In terms of the flow, if you will, how much has come in via the ETFs in the past week and a half, and how much has come in direct?
Yeah, it's really hard to tell kind of exactly what's pushing the price, if you will. And then also you have to understand that there's a lot of trading that's going on. People are putting on different kind of cash and carry trades and things like that. And so, like, how many people are actually buying Bitcoin and holding it for the long term versus how many people are just trying to trade or clip?
Well, that's what I'm trying to understand, this sort of hodler version of this. And that was a sort of a specialized community that I assume gets sort of not pushed out, but over time, you would think,
yeah, if you
would
look
expand, and then you're going to get into a more and that might actually create some kind of price discovery in a different way.
Yeah, so what's interesting is in bull markets, if you look on chain, basically, you go through a bear market, everyone buys up Bitcoin, they hold on real tight, they don't move it for a year or two, and then as you get into a bull market, price goes up, and there's kind of a clearing, people start to sell their Bitcoin into that bull market. We have started to see a little bit of selling of Bitcoin as we kind of broke over $60,000 earlier this year, but still more than 50% of all Bitcoin is being held, for over a year and not moving on chain, which I think is probably the best signal.
You were going to ask?
No, I wasn't.
I apologize. You're a Bitcoin maximalist, so Ethereum doesn't do it for you?
I wouldn't put myself in the Bitcoin maximalist bucket. I think that I'm a monetary maximalist, and I think Bitcoin is a big winner there. I think stablecoins have product market fit and are going to be very large. And then also, I do think that there's going to be a lot of other technologies that end up being valuable. Right. Ethereum, for me, last year I sold all the Ethereum and I bought Solana instead. And I thought that, that asset and that network is just cheaper, it's faster, it's going to probably do what
because that becomes you think actually that becomes a true financial network? We keep talking about payments.
I don't necessarily think of it so much, in crypto, I think that there's two revolutions going on. There's a monetary revolution, trying to be money, and that's where you see Bitcoin and stable coins. And then there's a technology revolution. And, do you need a blockchain or do you not? Right. That's up for debate in a bunch of different ways.
Maybe a curveball, but do you think Visa is a monopoly?
I think that payments in general, Visa has done a very good job of, but it's really hard for me to get excited when people yell and scream about monopolies when I have plenty of other services. I go to the store and I see people using other products. How do you have a monopoly if there's, a big number two or a big number three? How is it a monopoly if we live in a digital global world? There's people who are using all kinds of different technologies. And so, sure, are they good? Are they big? Yes. But at this point, a monopoly means that you are the winner. Right. I don't think you can say that in payments.
Real quick, you got a whole bunch of letters here to your children. When did you start doing this?
About 2 years ago.
And is there one letter, dare I ask, that you actually think is the letter?
So these are great. They're words of advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe the one that people, kind of are most surprised by is there's a letter in there about luck is not real. And the thought process is that luck is a psychological concept, right? And so if you and I both walk across the street and we get hit by a car and lose our leg, somebody comes and visits you in the hospital, you may say, wow, I was so unlucky to be walking across the street. But if I then am sitting in the same hospital bed next to you, also lost my leg, somebody comes and asks me, I say, wow, I'm so lucky to be alive. And so when you think of it from that perspective, luck is this thing that we like to kind of point to whenever we're actually talking about probability. But luck is something that we control. And so if you can shift your mindset or your perspective, it usually ends up putting you in a more optimistic kind of position in life.